So good morning. I'm here checking my settings and we'll get started here in a couple of minutes. So hi friends, it's Diane. Happy you're here today. Happy Friday. I'm checking to see if, before we get on camera here, I want to make sure I tell you all the right availability of items. And I'm looking for stitched shapes. No, but maybe layering. Layering circles, yes. Okay. Hello, hello. So I'm trying to make sure that I have everything ready to share with you to let you know the availability of items that we're using. This is an ongoing discussion. We had some Stampin' Up! Training last week, and then the discussion got carried over into my uplines team. And we kind of have a couple of schools of thinking here where, and I think I've discussed this with you before, should I only be demonstrating with products that are available to you right now, or should I be showing you how to incorporate what you already have and make cards? So right now is kind of a hard time because the current annual catalog will be ending on May 3rd, and the new catalog will begin on May 4th. So some of the things, that's this one, and if you are currently a customer of mine, I think you already have this in your hand. So some of the things you cannot get out of this, of course, until May 4th. And if you want something out of the current annual catalog, you need to get that by May 3rd. But then in the meantime, we also have our mini catalog. And my customers should already have this catalog too. And this is still good through June. So trying to figure out items that are still available to you is kind of confusing. And what I'm going to use today is Circle Celebration. Circle Celebration is still available through June. And I'm going to use Friends Are Like Seashells because Circle Celebration does not have sentiments in it. Friends Are Like Seashells was carried over into the new catalog. So that's not really a problem. And then the pattern paper that I'm using is the Dandy Garden. I'm using the 6x6 sheets, and that's out of the mini catalog also. So these are still available through June. And these are some pretty papers. When I flip the camera around, I'll show them a little bit closer. And I'm using, oh, I didn't look up punches. I'm using today my 2 and 2 1/4, and now I think I might have written 2 1/2 inch punch, but it's really a 2 1/4 inch punch. But I'm going to use those circle punches today, and if you have circle dies, those will work as well. And at the risk of repeating myself, when you go to purchase dies for your collection, I think starting with your basic shapes is always a handy thing to do because we use them all the time. So let me check punches to see if ovals, but I don't see circle punches so in the new catalog. So if you don't have circle punches, you still can get layering circle dies from the new catalog. So let me share with you the screen that will give you the dimensions of the products that we're going to use today. So hope I get the right one here. There it is. So my sample card that I did, I used Misty Moonlight, and then the one that we're going to demo, I'm going to use some Calypso coral paper, just because it's pretty. And I put 2 1/2 inch round punch, but really it's 2 1/4. I can see that now that it's facing me. So if you don't have Circle Celebration stamp set, excuse me, or the Friends Are Like Seashells for sentiments, you can use any stamp set that you have with greetings and sentiments in there that you like. And actually, even though Circle Celebration is available to you through June, I was going to pull out an old one and show you how we can make this card using any stamp set that has just a basic shape to it. Okay, so if you have a screenshot of your dimensions there, or have written them down really fast, if not, you can always go back to the replay and pick that up. Okay, so I kind of had to move my laptop around. I got that new microphone finally, and I am flickering, so I hope I'm all plugged in. That microphone cord is a little bit short. So here are the cards today that we're going to do. And the first one is pretty monochromatic. I've taken one of the pretty floral stamps out of the kit, and I used Misty Moonlight ink on a Misty Moonlight piece of cardstock, and then I framed it on a piece of Whisper White or Basic White, whichever you have. I'm still using up my Whisper White, and then I have a mat of the Dandy Garden designer paper behind it, and then it's all layered onto a Misty Moonlight card base. Made a little embellishment in our greeting. And then the second one that we're going to do, actually this one is probably more simple stamping than the other one. They're both pretty easy. The first one I showed you has more layers. So this is just Misty Moonlight, and I'm trying to make myself get away from only using same colors or same, different shades of the same color. So anyways, we threw some Granny Apple Green in here, and then by stamping off the Misty Moonlight and using it full strength, and then the Granny Apple Green, we actually have a card that looks like we have 3 different colors of ink. And I did not have Granny Apple Green ribbon, but I found some of this old Lemon Lime Twist, which was one of my favorite colors. Gosh, I love that. And it's pretty close to Granny Apple Green, so I used that instead. So see, I didn't have matchy-matchy, but I used what I had. All right, so let's get started then. Put these aside, and we're going to start with that one with several layers. And now I got to learn not to hit the microphone because it's taking up more space on the table. So we're going to start with our card base, which is half of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock that I've cut in half and then scored in half and folded, so that we have a 4 1/4 by a 5.5 inch card base. And this is pretty standard. And then I had, this is my inside, my insert. I'm trying to go back. Hubby has to work tomorrow, and I'm trying to go back tomorrow, I think, and do inserts for a lot of these cards that we've made. I almost think it's better if we just do it while we go along. Then I have a piece of the pattern paper from that Dandy Garden set, and it is cut at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And these are really pretty papers, and you can see I've kind of used this paper. And the one sheet that has the dragonflies on, if you have the dragonfly punch, you can punch those directly from the paper and then add those to your cards too if you like. But this was the background of the Misty Moonlight I used earlier, and there's some pretty plain. I think I cut a dragonfly out of that one too, just using the Calypso Coral. And who would have thought that dandelion paper was going to be so attractive, right? But I like the bumblebees too. The bees cute. But I really like this dandelion paper. I've used that a couple times. So this is available out of the mini catalog if you need some. Also out of that mini catalog, you're still able to get, well, it should be in the annual catalog too, the in color 6x6 sheets with the Cinnamon Cider, Misty Moonlight, Bumblebee, what am I forgetting? Magenta Madness, all of those colors. Those are still available to you also. Okay, so here's our designer series paper, and then we have another piece of the Calypso Coral that's cut at 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And I'm going to use my Calypso Coral ink. And I just found out of the Circle Celebration stamp set a pretty, I like this little flowery medallion looking stamp, and just tone on tone I'm going to randomly stamp some of these circles. And when you're creating a background with your stamp, you want to make sure that you do stamp off of the edge of your paper so that it doesn't look like it's planned too much. I got a little bit light there. Wipe this off. Okay, so all we've done is used one of those stamps with the same color of ink. And I have a bunch of Whisper White scraps over here. I pulled out to stamp my little greeting on. Oh, and I also needed one to stamp a circle. I guess I washed that a little prematurely. And I want to make sure I press this one firmly so that I don't have a light spot like I just did. That's good. Okay. I think I'll do my greeting now too, so that I can get done with this and put my ink away. And I need some thank you cards. So this is out of Friends Are Like Seashells. I'm using some of these greetings today. I have some birthdays coming up, and I need some more thank yous for my customers who have purchased through my site in April. Goodness, I didn't think my allergies were being this cranky today, but they are. All right. And instead of using a die or anything fancy to cut my greetings out, I just line this up on my Whisper White. I can put this away so I don't put my fingers in it. And yes, I'm out of room. And then I just trim this. Oh. To give myself a small rectangle. See, this is where that many messages die would come in handy also, because I could have had a bunch of these stamped out already. Now I'm going to use my 2-inch circle punch and cut that pretty medallion circle out. And the 2 1/4-inch punch. And I want to give it a background just so that it stands up a little bit off of my card base. And I'm using a couple of dimensionals for that. Let's get the stamped circle raised up a little bit. Now my original one, I had some little blue and white twine that I made some loops with and put behind these. I don't have any Calypso coral. I thought I had some white. Oh, that's linen. Did I not pull the white out? Let me go grab some white. Maybe we'll put a little bit of white behind that then. That might be too, I don't know. We'll give it a try. It's not going to hurt anything. What are you doing, sis? You making cards? Are you? Sissy has come up to make cards with us today. All right. Some white. Oh, what is this one underneath? Oh, look at that. Let's give that a go. Oh, as I knock my mouse off. Okay, and we're ready to put it together. So, where's my little white card base? the right one. Okay. Speaking of stamping in April, don't forget if you're playing along with our monthly mystery card challenge, that if you upload your photo of your card into the April folder of my Facebook page, you're eligible to have your name put in to win April's prize, which I will show you here. This month I'm giving Thoughtful Blooms stamp set with a pack of flower faceted gems. These are little retired embellishments, so you can't get those anymore, but they're really cute to use. And all you have to do is follow the dimensions on the instruction sheet there, and then upload your photo of your card. And when I'm doing circles, I like to do 1, 2, and then around a third finger, a couple more. It's entirely up to you how large or small you make your circles, if you even want to. This is a little bit thicker, so I'm going to try to spread these out a bit because I don't want it to be too lumpy bumpy there. Excuse me, I don't know why I'm so hoarse. I think I'll stick these down with a little piece of tear tape so it doesn't flutter all over. This probably would have been better, I think, on my first one. I put it in between layers. That's okay. And then you can spread your little ringlets around a bit, adjust them the way you want to. And I guess we'll add dimensionals to the back of this since I put that thicker twine. It'll work better. Yeah, so are you ready for that new catalog? May 4th. Trying to figure out what stamp set I want to get out of there. As you know, there are a couple of sets that are going to be very popular, and as a demonstrator we can pre-order some items. Of course, we're limited on what we can pre-order. You can't just go through the catalog and pick anything out. You do have a limitation there. So with as many demonstrators as there are, we're bound to see folks using a lot of the same stamp sets. But I don't want to use the same as everybody else. I like to be different. So that's what I'm kind of thinking in the catalog now coming out. I know what I think is going to be the popular stuff. So do I want to get those, or do I want to get some of the stuff that might not be as popular? So, like, to be honest, if I never see another butterfly design, it'll probably be too soon. I just think that I have one butterfly set, one or two, and I probably won't buy any more butterfly sets, no matter how beautiful they are. I'm just butterflied out, and I didn't even make any. Okay, so there's our first card, and even chit-chatting, that was under 20 minutes. So the second card, oops, back in there, insert. I'm going to need you. Second card then is where we're using a complementary color on our basic white, and I chose Bumblebee. I thought Bumblebee would be pretty with this. So I started with, there's another little, where are you? Where I have them all. Is it that one? It's that one. I started with this little flower design, and where did I throw it? Oh, it's buried under all those ribbons that I brought out. The Calypso Coral. Now again, we're going to stamp off of our Whisper White so that, excuse me, so that this doesn't appear like too much of a pattern of a planned out design. And for me, I think it's easier if I do my full strength first. And then I'm going to go back and stamp off once and add another flower. Whoops, I stamped twice. What was that? And I want to leave some room for my Bumblebee. I think my video is kind of catching here, and I don't think I have anything else running on here today. So, although when we were watching TV last night, the internet just kind of quit on everything. The television, our phones, everything. So maybe it's not... Well, there's two things. Let's see if that'll help. Bing Wallpaper. I've asked him to stop giving me pretty wallpaper here several times. Now we're going to add some Bumblebee, and in the stamp set there were these little speckles. Oh, I guess I should have kept that out to do some in Calypso Coral. And I think this will be okay full strength. And again, you want to turn your stamp a little bit so that your designs are kind of random. So anybody have any great plans for the upcoming weekend? I know some things are beginning to open again. Oh, let me see. I'd probably do it. I don't want to pollute it with a bunch of dots. And I do have a couple of Bumblebee ribbons. So we can add a little bow around the bottom of this one. Oh, we didn't do the circle. My goodness, that's the whole point, right? Doing circles. So, Whisper White. I don't think that one's big enough. That one should be plenty big. I think that's a full sheet, for goodness sake. Maybe now that the snow is gone, my allergies are being a little cranky. I guess that could be my issue, huh? Alrighty. So I need a Calypso coral circle. And this circle, I'm going to stamp off once. Because there is also this beautiful leafy stamp. And I'm going to stamp that inside my circle. All right, before I put that away prematurely again, let me do... I keep thank you out because really could use more thank you. Thank you. Aw, I put that now. Couldn't have gone that far. Good grief. Those are my dots. Happy birthday. Good Lord. It's amazing what happens when you just add one more little thing to your work table. Everything goes berserk. Oh, there, it's clear over here. Oh, goodness. Alrighty then. So, just cut another little thank you. And if you get this lined up straight along the edge of your cardstock, it makes it pretty easy to trim with your trimmer. All right, I think I'm done with that now. Let's get some of this Whisper White out of the way. Trim out my thank you. I have a weekend of spring cleaning to do. We finally, they're done in our living room and foyer and hallway. On our first floor, my craft room is upstairs. So all of our drywall and painting is complete now. Thank goodness. And it looks so nice. They did such a nice job. But if any of you are familiar with drywall dust, that could be why I'm being like this too. Drywall dust goes everywhere. I mean, I closed bedroom doors and stuff upstairs, and still there is drywall dust all through everything. So, spring cleaning the kitchen was next on the agenda. And I think, I don't know if we'll get to it this year, but we will refresh the paint and carpeting upstairs here. So once that is done, I'm going to do a 2¼ inch out of the Calypso coral to put behind my stamped circle. And then I can put these little guys away. But we're getting to an age where this is probably the last time we're going to do major updates or renovations or whatever in the house, and hopefully by that time hubby will be ready to retire and we will be able to just enjoy our home. Oh, ribbon. So we have just the plain bumblebee. This is just the in color ribbon, which is, I should have opened this ahead of time because it's a challenge. Come on now, don't do that. Yeah, so while they were working down there, I really couldn't get to my craft room to do too much. As a matter of fact, my Facebook Live that I do on Mondays, I had to postpone until later in the afternoon when they were gone because there was scaffolding across the stairway and I couldn't get back up here. And so in anticipation of that, because I really thought I might have a hard time not crafting, I had taken down some of my paper supplies to work on that journal that I started. And I finally finished my first junk journal or art journal. This will be my, I think I'll call this one my learning journal. And so I got to work on that because I could just sit quietly at a table and cut paper. And am I not going to be able to peel that off of there? Come on. There we go. Just had to loosen it a little bit. And let's see there. And I have learned so much since I was kind of banned back to the TV room quietly with the dogs for a few days there. I've learned so much about art journaling and am now ready to start. Well, I shouldn't say start because I did start another one. The one lady that I watch, I learned from her that there are these weekly challenge journal pages available. So I went on Etsy and downloaded those. And what you get then is 52 weeks of what to add to your art journal. So each week is different, and it tells you, like something from a grocery store, something you get in the mail, and it'll give you a list of things, and a bonus. Like your bonus is if you use a piece of handmade paper. Not a problem for me because I got a whole bag of it. So anyways, I started playing with that then, and really we would be up to like week 15 or 16, something like that, and I'm only on week 5 because I just started this, but it's being fun. It's almost like a scavenger hunt. Especially if you're trying to keep it theme-like. So now I'm on, I feel like a kid, because now every time I go to throw a magazine away, I'm like, oh wait, let me see if there's some birds in there, or let me see if there's something in there I might be able to use in a journal before we throw that away. What did I get the other day? I almost threw it out. I was like, oh no, wait, I have to keep it. So this could be dangerous. I could end up with a lot of stuff laying around. But I'm trying to keep it organized and only clip out the parts that I need or want, you know, or think that I will use in a journal, and then pitch the rest, because I don't want to make a mess of myself. I mean, our whole point of painting and redoing and stuff is because we're kind of downsizing, not the house, but the contents, getting rid of things that we don't need. There are only 2 of us. There we go. Card number 2. And these, we focus mostly today on stamping. I know some of the cards in the past, we have taken advantage of the beautiful designer paper to make quick cards. So today I really did want to use our stamp sets and not just the paper, and show a couple different ways that you could use your stamps. Let's put this under here so that we can have a nice picture, you know, by stamping off and then using full strength, stamping on the same color of paper as your ink, and then maybe just adding a highlight color. So here we go. I hope this is going to help inspire you to do a card. You know, you can get one of these done in just 15 minutes. You know, print off your dimensions of paper that you need and get them all cut and lined up. Pick out your colors and you're ready to go. And there we are. I'm back. And hopefully the snow is gone and we'll be able to enjoy some nice weather. So if not, you get some rain, then that just means you have to go back to your craft room and craft some more. Darn, right? I don't know, I kind of like those days where it's a little bit rainy and can't go outside, but I am looking forward to getting out there and starting to work in my flower beds. I'm getting a little antsy. I see my poppies are coming up and the peonies have buds on them, and lily of the valley are coming up, and I just want to go out and start cleaning up my borders, and I know it's just not time yet in Pennsylvania, or even if you're in Ohio, you know what I mean. So thanks for joining me, everybody. Sunday is the 25th. So I will be doing Christmas in the Making on my Facebook page. I'll schedule that live for noon. I do Christmas cards on the 25th of the month. And then Monday on my Hello Monday Facebook Live, I'm planning on using another new set from the catalog called Color and Contour. And this is a 2-step stamping set. So I will demo this. I'm trying to get the glare off of there. Kind of hard. I'll demo that one. And then this will be, that's after the 24th. The card that we shared our swap with for the Stampin' Up! Training, they had asked us to wait until after the 24th so that all of the countries and everybody would have all gone through their workshops before we started sharing our swaps. So I'm anxious to share my swap with you to get some input and see if you like the card. I hope it went over well. And don't forget, we're coming up near the end of the month, so don't forget about the April Card Challenge. Everybody have a blessed weekend. Thank you again for being here with me. And hopefully I'll see you either Sunday or Monday. Thanks, everybody. Bye.